enjoying the outside again. Today on Meema Mc Living Healthy. Stay tuned. Hello. Just like I said earlier, I decided I had so much fun last Wednesday that I decided I would film again on today's video. Now, today's Monday, and you may be saying, okay, Meema, why are you filming on Monday? We're having to go back to Florida, and because of that, I am not going to be able to weigh accurately on Thursday. I know that the scale I have weighs me at least 1 pound heavier than my scale here at home. And so that's one of the reasons I'm doing this earlier in the week. This is the only day this week that I could make the video, so that's why I'm doing it today. But I will try to come on Thursday or Friday and give a little bit of an update. But I do want you to understand that the weigh-in that I have on Thursday is not going to be quite as accurate as the one I had this morning. And so this is what I had this morning, which is Monday. Unfortunately, I still gained a little bit of weight over the weekend. Not as bad. I'm really trying to rein it back in. And this past weekend, I only gained 0.2 of a pound. This morning when I got on my normal scale, I weighed 124.2. Last Thursday, I weighed 124 even. So I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping to at least stay the same so that I could just have a almost free week this week. That's not going to happen. That's probably good for me though, because it will make me watch what I'm eating. I don't know if you can hear all this tree noise or what, but if you can, it's just part of being outside, and I love to be outside so much. And I thought being outside was a good place to be to talk about what I'm going to talk about today, because today involves what happens once you lose the weight that you are hoping to lose. What are some of the after effects of not being heavy anymore? And two things in particular I'm going to talk about today are being cold-natured and not having built-in insulation. You know, there's another big topic, and it concerns excess skin. I don't know if I'll ever have enough courage to show you my excess skin. But needless to say, when I lost 90 pounds, I do have quite a bit of excess skin. But that's okay, because it could be so much worse. It could be all that excess skin was still filled up with fat. Anyway, the two things that I've noticed more than anything since I've lost all the weight, though, is that before I lost the weight, I was pretty normal toward my body temperature during most of my life. Now, in my early 50s, I went through the change of life. I know that's TMI, but I did. And so I began to have horrible hot flashes. And that was in my early 50s. Well, at 58, when I started Weight Watchers and lost the 90 pounds, the hot flashes went away, which was great, I thought. But what took its place, it's a pretty even trade, I guess. Because you see, now I have very little resistance to cold weather or air conditioning. I get cold very easily. Now, when I was younger, I did this, and maybe it was because I wasn't 90 pounds overweight. I've just always called myself cold-natured until I began to put on all that weight. And then I was thinking, hey, so this is what the change of life is. It's great. Well, now I think it differently. Now I think it was because I had put on so much weight. It was like I was wearing a coat all the time, everywhere. And so I would have hot flashes, which was normal for my age. but then it would go a little farther in that I almost would get sick from how hot I would get. And once I lost the weight when I was 58, 59, then again when I guess I was about 62, I noticed each time that when I would be inside an air-conditioned room or outside during the wintertime, I was extremely cold. And as you notice, even today, I mean, I'm outside, it's probably at least 85 degrees, probably a little hotter than that because I'm actually hot. But I wear long sleeves all the time now because if I ever go in the house, the first thing that happens is I get extremely cold. So I have to find a blanket or I have to go in a different room from Papa because he still is pretty hot-natured. And I don't like getting under a blanket 12 months out of the year. So I usually just go to a different room that's not quite as cold. Now the second thing that sort of goes along with this is when I first lost the weight, our granddaughter was still playing basketball. She was in junior high and maybe the first year of high school. Not exactly sure about that. But I know in junior high she was playing basketball. And so for the first few years that she was playing, I never noticed this. And Papa always was the one to bring things to my attention, as he did this time. After I lost the weight, I began to realize how uncomfortable the bleachers were that I had to sit on when I would go watch my granddaughter play ball. And it didn't register with me what it was to begin with. And I would complain to him and I'd say, I don't understand this. I guess it's my arthritis, but every time we sit in those bleachers, I get extremely uncomfortable. Here's another TMI. My tailbone hurts. And Papa looked at me with his sage look and said, Meema, you used to have 90 pounds of insulation. And probably 50 of it was on your hips and your thighs, and it's not there anymore. So that is part of the reason that I'm so uncomfortable. And after that, after he told me that, I realized, okay, I need to start taking a stadium cushion, which I have ever since, and it cured it. So it wasn't just my arthritis kicking up. It was the lack of insulation that I had had for all those years. If this is the first time you've watched any of my videos, then you might not even know what my channel's about. My channel is concerning weight loss. It's information, encouragement, and my experience that I go through because I have lost 90 pounds. And sometimes I've lost 95 pounds. I vary about 8 to 10 pounds during the year, depending on what time of year it is. And I'm pretty odd in that I lose weight easily in the wintertime and gain most of it back sometime during the summer. And that's the way it is this year. Last year was different, but every other year it's been pretty much the same. And so if you've never watched my videos before, I hope you might consider subscribing. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you like me being outside. Whether you're a new viewer or one of my regulars, let me know if you like this outside venue because I'm really enjoying it. I know that we only have about 6 more weeks of this really nice weather, and so I'm going to try to take advantage of it as much as I can. But subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification bell, and then you'll get all of my videos. And if you ever think that somebody else can benefit from any of my videos, including this one, please share. Until next time, goodbye.